Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Nice to be with you.
Yes.
Nice to be with you.
Yeah, good to have Pastor Seyi finally.
Yeah.
Realm community. We call ourselves a realm tribe. You know, it's a tribe, it's a big tribe. And we believe in the common value, marital relationship, personal value. And it's so great to be with you, to have you with us. And first and foremost, we'd like to sincerely apologize. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good to have you here. To our viewers, we'd like to apologize for coming late. Like 10 minutes behind the scene, we had some slight connection issues. We apologize for that. So we'll shoot on right away. And I'm so excited today. I'm so excited. You know why I'm excited? This is the first time we're doing this. We have the privilege of having Pastor Seyi live with us. Like I told my people, Pastor Seyi is loaded.
Oh,
by the grace of God.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm very sure we're going to have a great time together.
Amen. 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 All right. Can we have a word from my husband, the real founder of Realm?
Well, I want to welcome everyone to this wonderful program. And I want to use this opportunity to welcome my dear brother, my pastor. I also call him my coach. Pastor Seyi Olawunmi. You are welcome to this program. Yeah, and I know that your wife is very, very close to you. I'm also welcoming her to this program. Because of our time, I think the best thing is to just go straight to the program without wasting our time, so that we can run as fast as possible, because we have a lot of ground to cover this evening. So I will hand over to my wife as she will kickstart the program with Pastor Seyi Olawunmi's profile. Then from there, we start the program by going straight to Pastor Seyi to tell us one or two things about the topic that we have before us today. And the topic is maximizing your youthfulness. Maximizing your youthfulness. You know, I know that by the grace of God is prepared for this program, and we have some questions already that we're going to be asking him, and by the grace of God, we'll be able to give us answers to them. So over to you, Nike Ajayi.
Thank you, my pastor. Yes, without wasting much of our time, what I did earlier was to send the profile of Pastor Seyi for the want of time, so that we won't have to spend much time on that. But I want to pick a summary of who Pastor Seyi is for our listeners, to know who you are meeting with. Like I keep saying, is loaded. Pastor Seyi is an inspirational speaker, author. He's an author, he's an entrepreneur, he's a strategist, and a leadership development consultant. Pastor Seyi is the co-founder of Happy Eagle Nigeria Limited. That's a company that they're involved in a civil engineering and security consulting firm. You know, it has to do with consulting in the highest level. Just know that you need to go to this great man of God. He's so loaded. He was a one-time Nigerian youth ambassador to the United Nations. That was between the year 2009 to 11. And he was the first chairman of African Youth Union, which was in 2009 in New York. He has spoken in several places, institutions, banks, events, churches, wherever. You're talking of leadership training, relationship talk, things that have to do with youth. I tell you, you're in the right place. And he has spoken within and outside the country. He has traveled he has traveled to so many continents to make this happen. He's a much sought after speaker. And we are humbled to have Pastor Seyi live on Realm. Thank you so much. Please welcome on board Pastor Seyi Olawunmi. Thank you so much. He's happily married to his queen of life, his project partner, Pastor Alaba Olawunmi, with beautiful. Thank you so much. So it's good to hear from you. Welcome on board, Pastor Seyi. So I'll drop the curtain here and then I want to hear from you in the next couple of minutes.
Well, thank you so much. Nice for having me. And I have actually looked forward to this time, particularly because of the subject matter at hand, maximizing youthfulness. And I want to appreciate the both of you for the great work you're doing with REM, especially for having a large heart for the young people. And I think that's something that actually inspires me a lot. Why? Because the young people that we're dealing with, honestly, they are the future of tomorrow. If the generation is wasted, then our future is wasted. That's why I'm so glad that people like you are doing something very tangible, something practical and realistic about that generation.
Some questions for you, sir, that will whet the appetite of our youth. But before we go ahead, we just want to recognize our first entrant. We have Agom K. Good to have you here. Yeah, my sister. That is the queen behind Pastor Seyi. She joined like right on point. She's here with us. Alabola, we go. Good to have you here, ma. God bless you. Fimi Ogbele, Olamile Kon Matters. Thank you so much. As we expect so many others, we can't mention. Thank you for joining us so early. We expect others. So as we move on, and Pastor Seyi,
yeah,
I've always seen you as a loaded person, and you have never disappointed us. This is one thing that that comes to my mind. That how does this man manage every aspect of crucial lives, our crucial lives? You know, when you talk of relationship, you are there. When you talk of career, you are there. Business, you are there. Talking to men, you are there. Pastoring, you are there. A strategist. How have you been able to manage all this together?
Well, thank you so much for that question. And I guess the answer is going to come out more as we begin to talk to young people today on how to maximize their youthfulness. I think it's just normal to say you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. You can't act what you don't have on the inside of you. I think number one, we have to attribute it to the grace of God. And then secondly, we also have to attribute that with all sense of humility into that personality, which makes it possible to be able to play in different spheres and in different space, just like you have said. So it boils down to the grace of God and then an investment that has gone into the life, not just in one day, an investment of several years that seems just to be playing out at this particular point in our lives.
Okay, thank you so much. You talked about three things that I've noted. The grace of God, intentional, add my own word, intentional investment into your personal life. And thirdly, personality. I have a lot of questions on the intentional investment because I've listened to you severally and I've read your books. But looking at personality, and me, because I'm a personality expert, let me start from where I know. I know that, like one of the things you said in one of your administrations, you are hot. For me, I have tried as much as possible. When you said you read about 58 books,
yeah,
in fact, in 1 year as a youth corper. when I heard that one, I said 58 books. Nike, have you even started at all? Because, so let's look at it. Could it be that the drive, the passion, and looking at your humble beginning, can I totally tie everything that your personality is something that has made you gone so far with that intentionality? What can you say about that?
Well,
that if you have other people that have personality, how can...
Well, I think a great philosopher said, "To thyself be true." If there is one person that you need to know, is yourself. Once you know yourself, every other thing falls in line. And then when we begin to talk about personality, I know you are very, very vast in that area, especially when we begin to deal with the issue of temperament. I guess one of the most grounded lecture I've heard on temperament came from you. And I must say that with all sense of humility. Beyond that, I want to look at personality now, because that's one angle when we're dealing with personality. The other angle to look at personality and know yourself is when we begin to look at it from the aspect of your core value as a person. Because your core values, the things you embrace, and so on and so forth, the things that means a lot to you, that matters to you, they are the core driver of your behavior, the core driver of your motivation from within. And I think my core values are the things that have actually made my personality what it is, and have given me the inner drive to do majority of the things that I am doing today by the grace of God. You know, one of my core values would be leadership. I mean, intentional leadership. I mean, it's just natural for me. Anywhere I am, I want to see leadership display. In fact, I don't wait for a positional leader to take the lead. If a positional leader is sleeping, we provide direction immediately. That's the type of person that I am. I just want to see things move. And I always say that any leader who has me as a follower is blessed to have me as a follower, because you can go to bed and be sure that things will be done before you wake up. I remember my provincial pastor writing on my birthday saying that there is nothing we have committed into the hand of this man that has ever failed. And I give the glory to God for that. That's why I say it's the grace of God. But the things that matters to me, my core values in life, the things that drives me are the major reason why I'm able to just pursue everything. I'm able to be as hot as it is. And in as much as my core values are still kept, they are still intact, they are still my driving force and the driver of my behavior and my motivation, I think nothing is going to change over a long period of time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Before I ask the next question, please, I'd like to say to our viewers, if you have questions to ask Pastor Seyi, please bring them on the comment box. We are looking through the questions on the comment box. If you have any, we'll be able to answer them as we go on. So there's the comment box as we look at maximizing your youthfulness. We're all youth, you know. But I want to ask the next question, Pastor Seyi. Between what, in terms of investment, personal investment into yourself as a single, and now that you're married, you've been married for, I know you've been married for like over 10 years now. 15 years. 14, fantastic. Oh, 1-4, beautiful. Between then and now, how can you compare the journey, and what influence has marriage had in your progress in life? That's the question I have.
All right, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. A wise man said, once you stop learning, you start dying. Death begins the day a man stops learning. So learning is a continuous process. Learning is a process of unlearning and then relearning. I mean, you learn something, you unlearn it, you relearn, and then it's a continuous thing. It keeps going that way. Now, which means that there is no end to learning until the day God says we have our last breath, right? Now, that's on the side. Now, with respect to marriage, once you marry right, then the scripture is fulfilled, that who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. Now, I have said this again and again, how I actually engaged my wife. And I think that was something fantastic. Yeah, I've said it again and again that when I engaged my wife, the first thing she did when I told her I wanted to marry her was for me to go get her my 10-year plan. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I had to do a 10-year. In fact, initially when he said 10-year plan, not that I don't know what a plan is, but out of the eagerness that I think it's going to be a yes. I quickly wrote 10 prayer points and I showed it to her. I said, no, man of God.
10 prayer points as a prayer point.
I said, plan. 10-year plan, not 10 prayer points. So I took back my prayer points and I had to sit down to construct my life looking forward. Who do I want to be in the next 10 years? What image do I want to have? What kind of life do I want to live? What do I need to put in place for me to live that kind of life? Who do I need to meet? Where do I need to go? What kind of a person do I need to evolve into? And all those questions were spelled out. And those questions inform my learning over that period of time to be able to do that, become that person, achieve the things that I want to achieve, meet the people that I needed to meet. And honestly, that was a learning process for me. And I think marriage has put more pressure on me to know more, especially when you are married to a wife, I mean, like mine, who is a consultant. And honestly, like a young man said to me a few days ago, Pastor, I want a lady who is tall. I said, listen, who is tall? I said, listen to me. All those things, they do not matter. I said, beauty means different things to different people. I said, for me, what I call beauty is beauty inside brain. Because I need somebody who can match up with me intellectually. Yeah, the beauty was inside brain. I don't need it just on the face and it's not upstairs. So I said, I need somebody who can match up with me intellectually, somebody who can plan with me, somebody who can engage my vision, somebody who has something to bring into the vision, somebody who can advise me, somebody who can talk to me, somebody who can engage me at the level of my reasoning. And I said, that's beauty for me. And then when I met my wife, I saw all of that in her and nothing mattered to me but that. And today, we have been able to make tremendous progress because we are kind of operating at the same intellectual level. We are able to connect at that level. And it's very, very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It's in fact, you stole the next question, a very great one. You stole the next question from me because I wrote it in my diary that, you know, the Bible says the deep collect unto the deep.
That's right.
The Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. So does the countenance of one man sharpens another. And I wrote an intelligent woman that I wanted to ask her, how are you coping? Because I know her as a very intelligent woman, dynamic, and she knows where she's going. But you answered that in all because, you know, somebody was sharing with me that there are some people that are sapiosexual. I had to look at the definition of what that means. Yes, and I realize what you're saying, that it's the beauty inside the brain. So looking at that, what I'm going to be doing, yes, I picked up that word for my singles because I want Elijah to ask some questions too. That my youth, especially our sisters. I was talking to one of our pastors today. She came around and I said, I have some issues with you. The issues are, I feel they are not concentrating their efforts to the right places. And I see many of our sisters, workers on Sunday, they are robed on shirt and, you know, looking angelic. And on 101 bear, you just see that it's the same person that is dressing the way. That is it the desperate of having a relationship. And who told that this is what the guys are looking for? That must you dress half naked to entice a guy? Especially the brothers that are also in church. In what way? Looking at of course, every relationship is different. looking at that one, what word can you have for this answers? For me, it's giving me an issue. It's giving me an issue. So please, what word can you?
Well, I'm going to begin by saying that it's good to look good. And then the way you dress is the way you are dressed. But notwithstanding, you are not favored because of the way you dress. You are not favored because of the cologne that you have on, right? Favor is a spirit, and it has to do with who is following you. I've been to places where I was the least dressed, and I was the most favored. I was the most honored. It's a function of the spirit that is following you. When we talk about favor, because getting a man is an act of the favor of God. It's not something that you are going to just think that you can do by yourself. But notwithstanding, I must also say that makeup is a big distraction. When you were growing up, when my wife was growing up, the makeup industry is not as big, it's not as huge, it's not as massive as what it is today. And so therefore, in your days, in our days, the emphasis was not so much because you don't have those makeup there. At most, you have some. In fact, there's one stick like a pencil like this, black, that they just do like this, and that's all. They do their lips like this, and they have. So it's a different ballgame, all right? It means that they valued so many other things that technology, this generation and a lot of stuff has actually taken off. But I want to say that for those ladies, they should also understand that when men talk, there's a way we discuss within ourselves. We know a wife material differently from girlfriend. Yeah, we know a wife material. Men will
we know a wife material different from girlfriend.
We know them. And I'm not talking about those who are even born again. I mean, even unbelieving men, because we didn't get born again from the womb. When we're not born again, we have tried all these stuff. We sit down, we say that girl, no be wife material. All of you know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Get your own slot. Are you getting me as quickly as possible?
And move on.
Get your own slot and move on. So what those ladies must understand is that open up your bodies, I mean, displaying everything on the outside is going to create a different perception from what you are trying to sell. What you are trying to sell is attractiveness, which will endear you to a responsible man, but it's going to send another message. So you can be trying to send another message, and yet people are getting another message. So my advice to them is decency is the rule of the game. Decency is the rule of the game. And honestly, once you are decent and also you have something upstairs, because, man, let me say this before I leave that point. I say to every young people in relationship, love is never enough to keep a relationship.
That's right.
Love is never enough to keep a relationship. When the chips are down, it's a match of values, not a match of love. You share the same values. I mean, do you share the same vision, ideology? Are you moving in the same direction? And so on and so forth. And that's why we must understand that it's about building the right value. It's about, doing the right thing. It's about the right investment in themselves, and not just about setting up the whole body for somebody so that they can be attractive.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. Those words are very deep. Love is never enough to keep a marriage. Value attracts value. What do you have on the negotiation table of marriage is very important. So I hand over to Shola to take.
All right. Thank you very much, sweetheart. My pastor, let me just. I want us to look at this topic, and I want us to dissect the topic thoroughly. Maximizing your youthfulness. You see, what do we mean by that statement? So I want us to go down to some people's level so that they will understand what are we even talking about by maximizing your youthfulness. Is it being a youth? What are the advantages that we have there? What are those things that you need to grab? No, thank God for your life. The books you read, when you are in the service year, and those things, those values that you are able, you added to your life as you were growing up. How are you able to maximize the time that you have, the energy that you have, those things that you had then? How are you able to maximize them? And that is why one of the reasons why we have to bring you up to this program, that our youth of today, we discovered a lot of things they are lacking in some areas. By the grace of God, God has helped you, and to the extent that you became the youth ambassador of United Nations. That's something God, did something in your life. There was something that you manifested that made that to happen. So we want to hear from you. How do we maximize our youthfulness? As youths, how do we achieve this?
Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to break that. I'm going to break that down. And first and foremost, I'm going to start with some statistics for our viewers, because I know that there are people watching us from different parts of the world, and people are at different intellectual levels. Now, when we talk about youth, who exactly are we addressing? It's very, very important for us to talk about who we are addressing. That's why in most of my discussion, when I talk about youth, I try to first do a definition of the people I'm addressing so that they understand. Now, every man on the face of the earth have been categorized into 6 age groups. I'm going to repeat that for the purpose of our audience here. Ages 0 to 14, they are called the generation Alpha. 0 to 14. Now we have people ages 15 to 24, they are called the generation Z. We call them the Gen Z. Also, ages 25 to 39, they are called the generation Y. That's Gen Y. And then we have ages 40 to 54, they are called the generation X. That's where we belong. We are the Gen X. All right. Then we have 55 to 64, and then 65 above, who are the baby boomers. Now, when we talk about youth, I believe that we must begin to address the upper limit of the Gen Z, and then the entire Gen Y, and then the lower limit of the Gen X. Because once you are getting to the upper limit of the Gen X, you can't be calling yourself a youth again. Because, like I said to people, one of the things I may discuss, if time permits us, is what you do with your life from the age of 20 to 60. It's very, very important. Now,
sorry, repeat that, sir.
I said one of the things we may have to discuss, if time permits us, I'll be sharing with people what you do with your life from the age of 20 to 60. And if you miss that, you may just end up in regret. It was Jim Rohn who said there are 2 pains in life, that every man must go through. Is that we go through the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? And every man must go through one. And for every young person, they must go through the pain of discipline, because the pain of regret is much more painful. That is the pain we go through in the latter days of our life for not doing what we're supposed to do with our youthful days. We only end up regretful. So when we're talking about youth here, we are talking about the upper limit of the Gen Z. And I must start from 18, at most 18, because once you are 18, you are old enough to take, total control of your life. That's why in the Western world, once you are 18, you can get out of your parents' house, you can get married at 18. When you go to the court, from 18, you are permitted to file for marriage, because it is believed that you can undo your life at that time. Then we look at the Gen Y, 25, 39, and then the lower limit of the Gen Z, which I will put at 44, 45, 44 downward. All right. So having said that, I will say that for maximizing your youthfulness means, number one, doing the right thing with your youthful age. Number two, it means taking the right decisions at that particular stage of your life, because decision determines destiny. Number three, planting the right seed, because life is governed by seed time, harvest time. I say that again, life is governed by seed time, harvest time. The seed you plant in your youthful days, you will reap it in the night season of your life. That's why the word man is not just the male man. The man means the seasons of your life. Man means the morning, the afternoon, and the night of your life. That's why God calls man, expressing the 3 seasons, the morning, the afternoon, and the night.
Wonderful.
Right? So the youthful age is the latter part of your morning and your entire afternoon, towards the latter part of your afternoon. Once you get to the latter part of your afternoon, crossing towards the night, then you are living the youthful state. So the seed you plant in your youthful state that will become the harvest you will reap at that point in time. So maximizing youthfulness means making the best of time, and that's very important. Making the best use of time, because I'll say that this man, the greatest commodity a young man has is time. I'll say that again. The greatest commodity a young man has is time. The greatest commodity a young man has is time. Now, let me give you an example with respect to investment. And then I'm going to talk in US dollars because we have viewers who are listening to us all over the globe. And that's more like an acceptable occurrence that everybody appreciates. Now, it was a wise man who said that people are sitting under a tree today simply because somebody planted a seed years back. I'm going to say this. Every young man who wants to sit under a tree in their later years and not under the sun, you've got to plant your tree now. You've got to plant a tree now because it is time that will turn your seed into a tree so that when you need the tree to give you shade and cover, you have something to sit under. The greatest commodity you have is time. Now, let me give you an example, man. If, for example, you invest $100 every month, you invest $100 every month, which, well, maybe dollar is very bad now. We're talking about 40,000, but still some 6 weeks ago, we could still do that at maybe 36,000 or thereabout, all right? So if you invest, say $100 a month at 7% interest rate, 7% interest rate, and then you do that, say, for 10 years. I want the young people listening to us to appreciate the power of time and how time is the greatest commodity they have. You know, some think the greatest commodity they have is money. Somebody parents ask money. No. If you understand how to make use of time, with the little you have, it's a matter of time, because time, if you know how to make time work to your advantage, then you are somebody who understood how to maximize your youthfulness. Now, I was giving an example. If you invest $100 at 7% interest rate for 10 years, you are going to have $17,000 for $17,409 US dollars. $100 for 10 years at 7% interest rate, you are going to have 17,409, and that is going to simply be 12,000 from your investment of 10 years, and then another 5,409 as interest. And guess what? If you do the same thing for 5 years, it's going to give you just $7,300, which is going to be just about 40% of what 10 years has given to you. I mean, that's how powerful it is for us to invest time. You won't believe that. When I was seven, I bought GDR. When I was 7, dollar was less than 100 naira. I can't remember, maybe 60 naira, maybe 50 naira. I bought GDR, gross depository returns, for maybe about 15,000 naira those days. I remember 15,000 naira when dollar was less than 100 naira, maybe 50 or 60 naira. And up till today, I cannot really talk about the value of that investment. 15,000, 18,000 or thereabout, some 20 years ago, was a little amount, but what time has done with that money is the benefit of what one can reap today. Now, let me also give you this example before I do. Now, in 1964, and this is crazy, if you allow me to use that word. In 1964, an investment of $1,000 in Berkshire Hathaway, that's the investment company of Warren Buffett. In 1964, $1,000 today is worth over 25 million US dollars. Just $1,000 in 1964. The share of $1,000 in 1964 in Berkshire is worth over $25 million. Now, what has happened is just time. It's just time that has worked on $1,000 over this year and has turned $1,000 in 1964 to over 25 million US dollars. And the truth about time is time never stops working.
That's right.
Time never stops working. If you do the same thing today, in 20 years, we'll be citing your own example as well. Just like we're citing this example, that somebody invested $1,000, somebody did something with time 20 years ago, and this is what it is 20 years after. let me close on this note because I know we have a lot of questions. If you want to start a degree and you say, oh, it's going to take me 5 years to start. 5 years is a long time. Whether you start or not, 5 years will come.
That's right.
5 years will come. You only look back to say, I wish I started this in 5 years. 5 years has gone. That's how powerful time is. So to maximize your youthfulness means you have right investment of time. You are making quality decisions with your life. It means that you're doing the right thing now. It means you are planting the right seed so that you can have a great harvest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's
over to you, Monica. Any question from our audience?
It's a very loaded question. It's we are going to look at it. We are going to look at it, and I tried as much as possible to be fast, to be very fast with my writing. And somebody private chatted and said that how can she has tried to be consistently disciplined, but there are a lot of distractions such that the goals set, she doesn't even meet up to 50% of her target. How can she speed up? Because she doesn't like her position where she is now, but it's as if she's helpless. That what can I do? That's what she's asking.
Yeah, it's one of the simplest questions for me to answer, right? And there are two dimensions to that question. First, I would say it's from the layman's perspective that everybody can understand. The second answer would be a practical kind of stuff that may involve some kind of engagement. Now, there's a difference between a wish and a decision. There's a difference between wishing for something and making a commitment to a decision. Now, anytime people tell me I'm distracted, I want to do something will just take my time. All I say to you is that you are still wishing. Once you make a commitment to decision, in fact, people are poor today because they have not decided to do it. Nothing can stop a man who makes a decision, I will get there. I mean, because once you make a decision, number one of the proof is that you stop the blame game. You blame nobody. You take absolute responsibility for your life. Once you make a decision, a commitment to a decision, you quickly understand. That's one of my mantra. I mean, that I just developed that a long time ago. I mean, I never heard that from anywhere when I kept saying to myself, Seyi, your success is your fault, your failure is your fault. Success is your fault, your failure is your fault. And guess what? If you succeed, you are going to be the first beneficiary of your success before others benefit. And if you fail, you are going to be the first beneficiary of your failure. Meanwhile, if you fail, people they won't benefit from it. They will abandon you to your failure. Why? Because failure is an offer. Failure is an offer.
That's so right.
I'll just tell the lady who has a question that I think she needs to make a commitment to a decision to reaching our goal will help him and honestly, that's one of the things that I'm going to help people do this weekend. I mean, in fact, my course on goal setting is going to start tomorrow. I'm going to help people with a lot of stuff on how to be able to set concrete goals and draw plans to be able to achieve the goal without missing it. I mean, I say things and they're like, are you joking? And before you know it, it's happening. Why? Because I understand the power of setting goals, planning, and of course, above all, I understand the power of positive confession. That sometimes you say it to the air, and then there are angels all around us who picks your word and just begin to act on it, and then it's just what it is, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Seyi.
Okay, thank you. There is a question from Agom K.
You okay?
Please, if you have more questions, just let's have the question. Let's have the question as we go on. But there are 3 questions here. As we go on, we also want to appreciate the presence of Pastor Yadishola in the house. Thank you, Daddy, for joining us always. We appreciate you. God bless you, sir. Agam K says, okay, number 1, when will it be said that one has lost it and is in pain of regret? That's number 1. When can you say somebody has lost it and in the pain of regret? I think he has answered that, but he might throw more light. He talked about the different kinds of generation. Number 2, how can one start all over even if he or she has slept the morning? That's very key. If you have slept the morning, how can you start all over? That's from my Agam K.
If you have missed the morning season of your life, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me quickly answer him by saying that the pain of regret is more obvious when you come to that season in your life, and it's almost impossible to do the things you ought to have done. Right? It's almost impossible to do the things you ought to have done. And then also we must understand that time is a very powerful tool. Like I said, is the greatest resource a young person has. There are things that time brings on for us that I'm not going to have enough time to help me achieve that once I'm 70. I mean, that's just what life is all. That's what it's all about. All right. So if you have missed the morning of your life, how can you start all over again? Well, you can start all over again because if you miss, I always say to you that you don't have unrealistic goals in life. You only have unrealistic deadlines. Yeah, unrealistic goals. You only have unrealistic deadlines. So what does that mean? If you set a goal and you don't meet it up, change your deadline. Change the deadline and continue on the path to achieving that same goal. All right. So if you miss the morning season of your life, if you are a person of purpose, at least who can get your purpose right, who can get your goal spot on, well, there's no time that is too bad for you to start over again. Although the pain there is that once you're above 50, the chances that you meet up with certain things, honestly, becomes very slim. Very slim. Very slim. But if you miss the morning season of your life, reset your goal and then start all over again. But you know you have to work extra hard, you have to double up,
pace.
And so on and so forth.
The pace. Thank you, Pastor Seyi. There's another question here, and there is a young man that says he has some fears towards success in terms of the marital aspect. That he said, I think I've read so many success stories of successful people in the world, and I realized that some of them, they failed woefully in their family lives, and that gives me some fear. That must I choose between family or wealth? Are the two achievable, or is it that because the long read, that from what he's saying, is it that they concentrated so much on business and they neglected the family? He has a fear that once they start chasing wealth, he might lose at the marital or family level. How can
this is what I would say to the young man asking that question. At every level, you have every scenario present. There are poor people who are unsuccessful in their family life. But that's even worse. Are you getting me, man? At every level, you have every scenario present. You have poor people who are successful in their family life and are poor. You have poor people who are failure in their family life and they are still poor. You have rich people who are successful in their family life and they are rich. You have rich people who are failures in their family life and they are rich. In other words, you have every scenario present at every level. So there is no level that generates a particular trend of a particular scenario. In other words, it's a general thing. But notwithstanding, I could send him a list of 100 successful people globally in the minimum. who are very, very successful with their family, highly successful. The richest man in the world for many, many years, whether he's an atheist or not, that's on another side. He's a successful family man. Bill Gates has been the richest man in the world for almost 30 years, for about 30 years before Jeff Bezos came and took over and whatever. And the man is not relenting. He's a fantastic family life. I mean, wonderful. I mean, 2 wonderful children, 1 wife, married for several years. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they run life together, they run everything together, successful. Warren Buffett, you can name them, all of them, successful man. Obama, successful man. President of America, congressman, successful man in all rights that you can think about. I mean, successful and successful in the family life. You can name them. There's so many that you can talk about. So it's a function of what you are seeing or what you have decided to see. So success has nothing to do with failing in your family life. So there's no with the right principle and the principle of the word of God that guarantees a successful family life, even though you are succeeding in other areas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Seyi. Finally, there is one last question.
I'm sorry, before we ask that question, I think I should add this to what Pastor Seyi said. So we're talking about some unbelievers actually making it in life, because I believe that there is a standard and principle they follow. And when we look at the scripture, if I should add to what my pastor said, it's in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 9. The Bible says something, and which I feel that the youth of today, most especially with our because I said Christians. But what I discover is that the laxity is much more in the church than outside world. And that is why I think
God bless you, sir.
In the church today, there is need for them to actually focus. What is even the Bible saying about them? It's as if they don't even understand what the Bible is saying about them. In that chapter 11, verse 9, I will read from here. It said that you say you who are young, make the most of your youth. Relish your youthful figure. Follow the impulse of your heart. If something looks good to you, pursue it. But know also that not just anything goes. You have to answer to God for every last bit of it. I don't know, you see, there is this kind of doctrine and there is this kind of thing that is going on here, that the youth of today in the church, they like free things, free meal. They want everything to be free, everything to know. You see the youth outside there, the way they walk, the way they hustle, the way they take things, little opportunity, the way they will grab it and pursue it and make it about in the church. This thing is really giving us a serious headache, which I really want us to address. But I know majority of the people that are watching us today, if you look at the percentage, let's say, don't let me just exaggerate, 50% of them are from the church. And I know some other people will still watch this particular episode we are doing today. What can they do? In the church today, the youth of today is as if there is no focus. It's as if there is no bearing. Pastor Seyi, I don't know, maybe there is something you would like to say. I know by the grace of God, you have a lot of youth that you pastor.
Thank you, sir. I have a lot to say to them we can't cover in this program. Now,
okay.
Let me begin on a very, very funny note before I get serious with the people in that category. Is a misuse of fatherhood. Please help me write that down. Misuse of fatherhood.
A misuse of fatherhood.
It's like when you just tell somebody your father is rich. Let me give you a story. There was this guy in University of Port Harcourt some years back who was studying civil engineering. So the guy would not stay in class. He would go to party. Lecture time is in party. He's gone out of the university campus. He's gone to be. So his friends, his test. He has put his lecture and he cares less. So one day they said, we need to talk to you. So his friends went to him and sat him down and said, young man, what's wrong with you? We all came to this school so that we can become something in life. You will miss class, you will miss tests, you will fail. They will send you out of school. And the guy began to laugh. Pastor Jola, are you listening to me? And the guy began to laugh.
Yes, sir.
And the guy said something to his friends. He said, let me warn all of you. None of you follow my step. He said, me that you are looking at, the houses that my father has, if my brothers cheat me, I'll still have 7 houses. In other words, he was saying to them that I have something that I am relying on. So you can also. You see people in the church, these lazy guys in the church we're talking about, they are misusing the fatherhood of God. It's like somebody is telling them, your father will take care of you. God will do this for you. God will do that for you. So they carry on their life and submit it to prayers and neglect principles. It's a misuse of fatherhood.
Wow.
But the people who are out there, who are unbelievers, their case is like they're like orphans. The only father they have is the devil, and he's a wicked father. They know him is a wicked father. You can't get anything from him free. You say he will bless you, will tell you, hey, I want me to bless you, yeah, bring your man. You want me to bless you, or yeah, bring your. So they know they have a wicked father. So rather than go to their wicked father, they rather say, let me also, let me leave my father alone. But we have a soft father, and somebody is misusing the softness and the love of God to become lazy. It doesn't work like that. That's one thing. The second thing I want to say is that the principles of Jesus are different from the person of Jesus. Know the person of Jesus, make everything. Practice the principles of Jesus, maximize your
Very deep.
Principles,
Very deep.
Pastor.
Yes, sir.
The principle of Jesus is what?
Different from the
personality of Jesus. Is that not
Jesus.
from the person of Jesus? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
The person.
Wow.
The person guarantees eternal life. But the principle that guarantees our earthly success. So when you neglect the principle, now the thing is, the principle also has no respect for religion. I'm so sorry.
That's right.
Not to hear this. The principle of Jesus has no respect for religion. In other words, if you are a non-believer, you are committed to learning, you are committed to personal development, you are hardworking, you seek opportunities, you are engaging. God will not say because you are not born again, it will definitely make you to fail. No, that's not religion. That's why you have a lot of successful unbelievers. They practice the principle of hard work, which is the principle of God. God himself is a hard worker. Jesus said, my father worketh hitherto, and I work. So if you are a lazy believer, I don't know who you resemble with your laziness. It can't be God. Who is
your father?
All right. So if I'm not believer, let me share this. Do you know he has this church in Port Harcourt, and the highest tithe was an unbeliever? The guy will come to church, drop his check, and come back and leave. He will give it to the usher by the door. By the time the usher gives the check to the pastor, it's bigger than any check the pastor has ever accepted. So the pastor told the usher, where is this guy? He said, no, pastor, it doesn't enter. He will give us and he will go, he will drive, he will get the jeep, and the driver will take him. So the pastor said, please, when next this guy comes, persuade him to enter. The other time the pastor came, the pastor was preaching, the guy dropped the check. He said, please, pastor said he wants to see you. The guy said, I'm not interested. He got into his jeep and drove away. But there came a day when he came and the pastor was not preaching. The moment he came, they called the pastor. The pastor rushed to the door to actually address this man who has been doing checks in millions for them. And he said, sir, thank you. We have been receiving your check. And brother, which church do you attend? Yes, I do attend church. He said, church, we don't. He said, yeah, but why did he say, no, I just pay my time. He said, a long time ago, I saw somebody that this principle worked for. And I said to myself that I'm going to practice it. 10% of my income to God. And an unbeliever says, since I began practicing that principle, he said, my life and my business went to another level. So I don't joke with it. He said, this is the closest church to me. And I see that this church, you are doing something meaningful. That's why I come to pay the money here. So I'm not interested in your Jesus. I'm not interested, but I know this principle work. And he drove away, not even talking to the pastor again. Are you getting me? Somebody once asked me, the pastor should return his money. I said, if you are pastor, go and return
That's deep. So we have a question here.
The man was practicing a principle, a kingdom principle, and he believes it's work.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to encourage Christians to do if you don't want to die a pauper, if you don't want to die a Lazarus, that you are poor doesn't mean you won't make it. You can make heaven as a poor man. You can make heaven as a successful man. The choice is just yours. But for me, my household, for you, the REM coordinators, the Ajayis, we have decided we'll be successful here on earth, and then we'll be successful in heaven.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That is it. That is it. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. You know, like I keep telling the youth that the Bible says, I have seen the princes walking on the ground and the slaves riding on horses. So it depends. If you are the prince, do something that will make you ride on horses. Chance the slave. But any slave that knows the principle will ride on horses. But we have the privilege of father.
Can I cut you there? Can I say something there? Can I say something?
Yes,
there?
sir.
Do you know, man, that as you are seated now, you can't ride the horse? You can't. I mean, physically, I'm talking about physical horse. You can't ride the horse.
Yeah.
If you have to be trained on how to ride a horse. A horse
exactly.
A horse is like a car. You can't just get into the seat without learning, and you just be driving. In fact, I just read a book by Dad Howard Mills of Ghana on church group, and I was talking about his first experience riding the horse. He said the moment he jumped on the horse and he tried to, even the horse knew that this was a JJC. It was as if the horse was, there's a way you start to get, horses have that intellectual ingenuity. When you ride on a horse as a first timer, and you don't know, the horse know that he knows this is a JJC. In fact, the horse can threaten you because he knows you're a JJC. That's why when you go to the beach and they put people on the horse, even adults, the horse rider sits behind them or stands behind the horse to help them. So the question I want to ask, what was the priest looking at when the slave was learning how to ride the horse?
He was praying alone.
It's $1 million question. Oh, he was praying. He was praying, and the slave was learning how to ride the horse.
Maybe it was in Thessalonica.
The slave got to know how to ride it when they sent him to go and be taking care of the horse. In the process of taking care of the horse, when the rich man was busy, was enjoying himself in the palace, the slave was busy in the field, feeding the ox, and in the process, he started learning the horse how to ride. But the rich man's son was in the house, eating, enjoying himself. But the slave was taking care of the horse in the process. He got familiar with the horse, learned how to ride, and he was moving on with the horse. He started moving on with the horse.
That's a misuse of fatherhood. That's what we are saying. It's a misuse of fatherhood because the responsibility is on the prince to learn how to ride the horse. Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay, is there any question so that we can leave Pastor Seyi, because the program, there's a program that is starting tomorrow, and I want Pastor Seyi to address us and talk to us, to talk to the world about the program that is starting tomorrow. But before then, let's maybe 1 or 2 questions before we listen to.
There are questions from Yekini Enigmatic. There are 2 questions from. There are questions that, but we have a limited time. In the next couple of minutes we need to close this. Okay, Pastor Seyi, please allow me to read the questions together. If possible, you can quickly answer all, within the space of time. Yekini said, youth could have its fair share of disappointment. How can we learn to be self-motivated so that time can eventually reward our efforts in the process of disappointment? That's number 1. Then another question from Yekin. Books have taught us the power of savings, at least 10% of our income and investing. What strategies can help one take one's eyes off the savings, especially as they begin to grow, so that they can eventually become a tree? I think you are reading the question. That books have taught us to save. While it's growing, what discipline or strategy can one use to remove his or her eyes so that probably the investment can become not even a tree, a forest. So the final one on that, sir, from Daniel Upamugo. I have a goal that will materialize in 3 years. I am being proactive, working towards my goal. Is it appropriate as a youth to neglect my family to pursue my goals? Sometimes I feel that after effects of my action may disappoint my family. That's like one of the questions I asked earlier. But those are the questions we can take now, sir.
Well, I'll quickly, let me start with the last one, and I'll make it very brief. That's why in our goal setting class, I teach people how to set smarter goals, and smarter goals, not just smart goals, but smarter goals. Of course, let me just deal with the E and the smarter. All right, your goal must also be ethical. It must be ethical. Any goal that you pursue at the expense of your family life, at the expense of your health, at the expense of humanity, it's unethical. And I don't think it's something anybody should try to do. So if you are pursuing a goal at the expense of disappointing family and all that means it's not that goal is not it's not good enough, as it were. I don't know what it is, but until we get the right context to be able to advise the person. But your goal should profit yourself and also make life convenient for people around you. All right, but let's leave that. The other man, if you're saving, well, you must decide to take your eye off the saving, because that comes with some values and then some philosophies to live by. And one of the philosophy I discussed earlier, if you plant a tree today, you must allow time to allow it to grow. If you plant a tree today and you uproot it tomorrow, just because you feel like seeing what is inside, then you're never going to have a tree to sit under. That's why you must, just as a matter of discipline, save and allow it to grow. And there's something that, honestly, some people don't understand it. There's something that money in the account, not everybody can appreciate that. There's not something it does to you. Some, when they see money in their account, it encourages them to spend. Some, when they see money growing, it encourages them to save more. The more they see, the more they want to see there. Some, the more they see, the more they want to spend. For me, the more I see, the more I want to put there. The more I want to see more. I'm encouraged when I see 3 today, and when I look tomorrow is 4. I'm encouraged. I want it to be growing, right? I don't spend because it's there. So the guy must live by the philosophy and by a decision that you must give certain things time. If you don't give it time, you're never going to enjoy the benefits of what you are actually working towards. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Our pastor was saying,
all right, thank you, Pastor.
I should say something about our program.
Yes.
Well, because of time, I know time is fast spent. It's a goal setting master class. Yes. And honestly, a number of people have called me to ask me why I'm doing a program that cheap, because they don't know me to do something at that level. And I said, well, the motivation for this is to help as many people as possible. For those who are joining, they will understand the quality of what we are putting in, that if they are paid a 50,000, it won't still be enough to match what they are getting for as nothing as a 2,000 naira. And this is what I just see as our investment into the life of people. And why am I dealing with goal setting? Let me just say one: goal setting, because when you are clear about your plans, your vision, and your goals, and how to achieve them, it puts you in the top 3% of the world achievers. And that's very important. Every achiever I know, they are goal setters, from top athletes to presidents to, business executive, and so on and so forth. And that's why we're doing the goal setting master class, which is going to start from tomorrow. And we have a lot of things that our participants will benefit from. From tomorrow, we're going to be sharing with them the life planning workbook. We're going to be sharing with them, the core values workbook that they're going to work with until the weekend, so that we can take them through the goal setting workbook and understand how to plan their goals, and so on and so forth. We also have the life gap analysis, which, of course, we're going to be doing that in the advanced class, not this class, because this is going to lead us on advanced class, all right? We're going to set the foundation for all of that. The goal is that by the time they are done with this particular class, they will be able to understand the principle of setting proper goals, smarter goals, and drawing out a plan to actually achieve that goal, such that in the next 1 year, 2 years, I know people will be calling me to say, thank you, because of what you did for us at this token fee, I am successful. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Pastor Seyi. It's like, I personally, myself and my wife, we are going to be in that class.
That's right.
Us.
Thank you, sir.
I tell people that it is anyone that is not ready to learn, that one is ready to, that person is dead. So as long as you are still alive, you must be learning and to learn and to unlearn. By the grace of God, we are going to be in that class. And I also want to say this, that as far as I'm concerned, age is a number. Age is just a number. If you know that there's need for you to start all over again, even if you are 50, if you are 60, there is no time you cannot still start. You can still start something at 50 and you will still achieve great things before you will go to the grave. So I want to say this, as people that are watching us who want to be part of that program, we'll send that link to we'll send that the link for registration to this Facebook page. Please kindly join and make sure that you learn something. You can, not anything can still happen, great things can still happen to you. It's never too late to learn. And my prayer is that God will bless you in Jesus' name. Pastor Seyi, you want to sincerely appreciate you for coming tonight. We love you. I want to say God will continue to prosper.
Thank you so much.
God will continue to prosper your business. God will continue to prosper your home in the name of Jesus. We move from glory to glory, from strength to strength in the name of Jesus. We love you and we celebrate you.
Yes,
thank you for hosting me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So much.
My heart.
Yeah, love from my wife here and my entire family.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yes, that's my sis. Hugs for her. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.
Until we come your way again by the special grace of God, very soon we'll come your way again with another exciting topic, interesting topic. We come back very soon, and we believe God that we learn together and move on together. God bless you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
love you and we appreciate
you.
Bye, Pastor Seyi. We love you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.